Sushi jackknife. 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 Sushi jackknife.
You must feel odd right now, having just chugged what you chugged.
Well, I always feel odd. It's kind of a constant state for me.
That's not what I expected you to say at all.
What did you expect me to say?
Yes, I feel odd because I just chugged what was it, a steelhead
Steel Reserve?
Steel Reserve, yeah.
Pineapple. Well, to be fair, the only reason I chugged it is it was the only way it was going down.
It's a fighter. It was a fighter.
So bad. So bad. Anything flavored like pineapple, and I mean legitimately anything flavored like pineapple, is garbage, and the people who create it should be burnt at the stake.
Well, okay.
Is that a fair assessment of things?
I think,
pineapple, watermelon, or green apple. Those three flavors.
out of all the stances we're probably going to take tonight, that one seems like a good place to start.
Yeah. I'm not backing down on it either.
No.
You can take me all the way to the Supreme Court.
I'll take you all the way. Maybe just, the Circuit of Appeals. That seems to work too.
Yeah.
At least for the moment. You could taste it. I tasted it too. You could taste, anytime you can taste things separately.
Yeah.
Like you get hit with the pineapple and then you taste shitty beer
underneath
it.
It was pineapple cough syrup flavored. Which I don't know that pineapple cough syrup is a thing, but if it were,
I'm assuming
that's what it would taste like.
Yeah.
So terrible is what I'm getting at.
Being completely stereotypical here, you have to assume that there is pineapple cough syrup in Guatemala.
That seems right.
Yeah.
That does seem correct.
Fanta. Remember that commercial? Have a Fanta.
Oh, Fanta.
Horrible.
Hey.
Hi.
Welcome to Sushi Jackknife.
Welcome back, everybody.
What up?
It's been another hell week in the hellscape.
I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't say a hell week.
It was better.
I will say my week has been ridiculous.
Still?
Yeah.
You had a ridiculous week last week.
Let me tack on to last week.
Okay.
So, I'm trying to decide which of these would be the best to explain the week.
That one.
HVAC.
Yeah.
Still not fixed.
The saga continues.
Yeah. I got a call from the HVAC lady saying, hey, you know how we were scheduled to finish your work on the 12th? And I said, no, I don't know that because no one has ever called me. And she said, oh, well, can we move it to the 14th? And I said, yeah, that's fine because I didn't know it was ever on the 12th. I think she caught my sarcasm. And then the big one this week was, in addition to our HVAC breaking, our dryer went out.
Oh, really?
And I trusted the wife with the duty of picking out a new dryer while I was at work. So she chose a dryer from a place, used dryers, because we're cheap, and we're not going to buy a new one.
Sure.
So they're supposed to deliver it. They show up an hour late. And then two Middle Eastern gentlemen who do not speak English come in. And it turns out we have the wrong plug
on
the new dryer. So they start switching out the plug.
Okay.
This turns into like a 45-50 minute ordeal.
Oh no. Oh no.
The whole time I'm home alone. The wife is gone.
Yeah.
She is gone somewhere.
And you have the baby.
I have the baby who is not happy and needs to take a nap, but he refuses to take a nap when there are strange gentlemen thumping things about in the back of my house.
Understandable.
The dog keeps barking. The cat, don't know where the cat's at.
Do you ever know where that cat is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not when there are strange gentlemen in the house. So they finally get it fixed, and then the guy starts trying to get me to pay him for fixing it.
Oh no. No.
So I said I don't have cash, And he goes, check. And I go, I don't have a checkbook. I did have a checkbook, but I'm not paying him. No. Particularly when they had to use my own tools to fix it, and they were an hour late.
Oh.
And I don't know if it was out of retaliation or they're just bad at their job.
Yeah.
But then, backing out of the driveway, they just ran through the neighbor's yard and kept going.
Oh my God.
And then it turns out that dryer was broken anyway, so they had to bring a new one.
Oh, same guys?
One of the guys was
Oh,
the same.
shit. Wow, man.
I have trouble with gestures, and they didn't speak English, so it was a lot of me playing charades with them. I in the library where they were changing out the cable, I have guitars, and one of them just goes, "Hey, you," and starts wiggling his arm.
Strumming like?
And it took me a solid minute to go, what is he doing? Oh.
Communication's hard.
Guitar. He must see my guitars. Got it.
You, Elvis Presley.
Yeah. So I may have insulted their entire nationality on accident because I don't know what they were saying. A lot of it was just me going, yeah, all right. So
that's how a bajillion people felt this week at airports around the country.
Yeah. Well, I mean, then they didn't.
Why? Well, yeah, then they didn't. And that's where we're at now, which is nice. Which is nice.
Was that really just after last week?
Yeah. Yeah. There's still people in limbo, I've been hearing.
Yeah, not for long.
But yeah, they had, they handcuffed a couple grandmas and children to chairs.
That's what you want to do.
That's what you want to do.
It's actually how I spend my weekends.
I don't want to know too much about this.
Just handcuffing random people to random things.
And then just, you leave.
And then I walk off.
Oh, okay. All right. That's less insidious than what I had imagined.
I take the key and I set it exactly 4 inches away from their furthest reach.
Wow. You are a real dick.
Yeah. That's what I hear. Anyway, aside from the news, your week.
Aside from the news, not bad.
Okay.
I solo parented for about 3 days this week, but it went really well.
And I saw him. He's still alive and had all his limbs.
Yep. He was clean.
He didn't seem brain damaged at all.
That's good.
So I think you did an okay job.
A couple things happened that could have... No, not really. But yeah, no, it went well. And then, it's been a turbulent week in the work environment, but not too bad.
Yeah.
Things are fine. That's pretty nondescript, but yeah, I'm fine.
Good.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what you want.
I want to be fine.
Fine is the most we can hope for.
Yes. At this point. Very true.
Today while I was working, I turned on my phone CNN just to see what was happening. And made it like 7-8 minutes. And when no, I can't do it. And then I turned it off and started listening to Chance the Rapper and No Name. It's like I went the complete opposite. Like, this makes me feel happy.
Yeah.
We'll do this.
Yeah. Super Bowl. I did.
That made me happy.
I watched half.
Just because it was a good game.
It was a good game. I thought the Falcons had it in the bag, and I stopped watching at the halftime. After the halftime show.
Oh, you turd.
I really stepped in it on this one, man.
Oh, man. First Super Bowl overtime ever.
Really?
Ever.
Oh, I didn't even realize that much.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Wow.
Yeah.
It's a bummer.
It was, for those who don't know, one of the best Super Bowls ever. The Patriots were behind by 25?
That sounds about right.
And came back, tied it up, sent it to overtime, and won.
That's the largest comeback in the Super Bowl ever, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Tom Brady.
He's a magic man.
I feel like everyone should hate Tom Brady just out of sheer jealousy.
Well,
at this point,
there's another reason to dislike Tom Brady.
What?
Big Trump guy.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
in a way,
You know what?
yeah.
I'm not faulting anyone for being a Trump person
Fine.
anymore.
I'm just saying.
I'm not going to do it anymore.
It's grounds for disliking, or
no,
you know,
nope, not
can
anymore.
be.
No,
why not?
why would it be? I refuse to now dislike people for someone they like. I will dislike them for their behavior.
Yeah. Okay. That's probably a wise.
I'm
wise
over
point.
it. I'm over it. There are far too many people on both sides now who are disliking everyone for the one thing that they know they decided on.
Yeah.
Don't care.
Did you feel at all watching the Super Bowl though that it was like a proxy war was going on?
I I kept seeing on Twitter things about how the Falcons had the FBI release that they were looking into their emails, and that's what happened in the second half. Or a lot of things like that.
Or like one of the offensive linemen on the Patriots just kept giving out his password.
Yeah.
Every,
Matt Ryan, actually
minutes.
his nickname's Benghazi. So
Benghazi Ryan.
it's what happened.
Yeah. And you got Bowling Green on the other side, running back.
Oh,
for the
Bowling Green.
Patriots.
Bowling
Who
Green
was absent. It was weird.
Yeah.
It's like he wasn't there.
It was really weird that they kept lining up with 10 people instead of 11.
It was weird. I mean, it made the win even more significant. But
No, Bowling Green's back there. Don't worry about it. He's real.
and in an odd way, watching the Super Bowl, I mean, I didn't expect all the political commentary from the commercials. I really didn't expect it.
It was intense.
It was. And I was, overall, very, very happy about
Yeah.
it. I mean, I didn't go out and buy a Coca-Cola, but I felt
Why not?
better about Coca-Cola.
Why? Do you hate Coke?
No, I just didn't.
To be fair, though,
Yeah.
and I'm going to play devil's advocate
Okay,
here.
play them.
I don't know how much of it was the company trying to make a statement,
Yeah.
or the company going, "Hey, people would like us to make a statement."
Oh, yeah, of course. Of course.
The cynic in me saw every single one of those ads and went, "Yeah, okay.
yeah, no.
Good job watching the news.
No. You
You did a great job identifying what our current climate is."
right. And you chose the less inflammatory side. You chose the side that would make people feel positively towards your product.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I don't know how you would create a Coke commercial showing that Coke hates Muslims.
right. No, there's like a
Just
plane.
a guy hurling Cokes at Muslims. I don't.
Or they give them out,
Yeah.
right? Like everyone's standing around and they all receive a Coke, and then a guy just drives through holding a baseball bat and just smashes them in their hands.
I mean, that would be the other side.
That would be, yeah.
That's a much worse commercial.
Or they ship a bunch of Coca-Cola to Yemen, but then they don't let it in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They handcuff it to chairs.
Oh, yeah, man.
Yeah. Who kicked us out this week after the horrible botched operation last week?
It went well.
Apparently. Yeah.
I hear from reliable sources high up in the White House.
I think that
it
8-year-old
went really well.
I think that 8-year-old girl would disagree with you.
Fun fact about Yemen, by the way.
Yeah.
I just learned today by listening to the news that people who live in Yemen are Yemenis.
There you go.
Yemenis.
Yemen is.
So that was either someone misspeaking or an interesting thing I learned.
Indeed. Yeah, so we have a botched operation last week. This week they say you can't perform anti-terror raids anymore in our country. So
I don't know why it went so
safe.
well.
Yeah.
You've heard their argument as to why it went well, right?
No.
Which I understand their argument.
Yeah.
If this is the case, we don't know that this is the case.
Right.
If you're looking incredibly short-sighted at it,
Okay.
like just at right this second,
Right.
they got a bunch of computer information
Okay.
that reveals terror plots.
Yeah.
That's it. So
Okay.
I understand how that's a win in the incredibly short-sighted
Right.
nature of things, because now they just go, oh, well, let's go to these terror plots we also have that aren't on that computer, and we're good.
Bring in that laptop from Yemen.
Yeah.
See if there's anything on there. No, dude. I mean, Jesus. I wrote down. I just want to tell everyone. I wrote down and printed out a million things this week, and now I'm looking at it.
That's a falsehood.
Okay, not a million. A lot.
Don't Kellyanne Conway us.
Oh, you're right. You're
I
right.
need an exact number.
I don't know the exact number. I wrote down some stuff.
Yeah.
It's about a page worth of stuff.
Okay.
I printed out
Several pages.
maybe 10 things.
Okay.
And then I've got things that are held over that I printed out.
Okay.
And there's so much of it.
You should get on your phone, man.
Yeah.
Go green.
I don't like reading on my phone. So I don't really know where to start. Getting back to the band, you got to shout out James Robart, right?
Sure.
You got to shout him out.
I'm not going to shout.
Shout
but
him.
Yeah.
And then you got to shout out the San Francisco court, which upheld his ban on the ban, if you will, right?
Yeah.
And I wanted to correct us. We got it wrong last week.
I didn't.
I got it wrong. I think I said Congo was the African country. It's Iran, Iraq, Libya, Somalia, which is an African country, Sudan, Syria, and Yemen.
There we go.
Those. Somalia.
Irrelevant at this point, by the way, because they can just come in.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I just wanted
as of today, which we have mentioned, but we have not specifically
gone into it.
As of today, the Ninth Circuit Court voted 3-0 that the ban has to go away while they decide what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
So, and also, while we're on the subject of 3-0, 2 Democrat-appointed judges, 1 Republican-appointed judge.
Okay.
So,
a little bit of bipartisanship there.
Yeah.
A little bit. Well, very good.
It's a good thing.
It is a good thing. It is a good thing.
It's really good. It made me feel good this week, let me tell you.
Yeah, tell me.
To see that the court system,
Yes.
the way we've set it up, actually kind of works.
It does.
And even with the Supreme Court justice nominee,
Right.
that people aren't supporting,
Right.
because he's a very, very strict
Literalist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even he was speaking out against Donald Trump,
Yes.
saying terrible things about judges.
He was. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this guy.
Not on the record, though.
Right. This guy, he attacked this Robart guy
Yeah.
directly. Trump did.
Yeah.
Saying that he was a so-called judge and blaming him for future terror attacks.
And Gorsuch today, Gorsuch?
Gorsuch.
We're
yeah.
going to say it's Gorsuch.
That's right. No. The Supreme Court
it came
nominee.
out that he had told a senator
Right.
that, and I don't have the exact quote here, but it was disheartening.
Yes.
And
Discouraging.
else. Yes, to hear Trump say these things. He didn't want to say it on the record when the senator asked him to say it on the record.
Right.
But his spokesperson also said that, yes, he did say that.
Yes.
So,
So
it's
there
not
you go.
on the record,
Right.
but it's not off the record.
It's on the off the.
So, if you need a silver lining, that's it. The court system in the United States, it's doing its job.
It's doing what it's designed to do. It absolutely is. And
It's kind of reassuring.
it's very, that's exactly how I felt this week. It was very, very reassuring. It was, instead of disheartening, it was heartening.
Yeah. It heartened.
Yeah. To see people making logical decisions.
Which is their only job.
Yeah.
Their only job is to look at previous logical decisions and
Right.
go, this is also a logical decision that fits in with those logical decisions logically.
Let's add them to the canon of logical decisions we've made in the past.
Let's strike that from the canon. Logical.
Yes. Hey, as we've said before, logically, illogical.
There we go.
Yeah. So yeah, it was really encouraging to see it all working.
Yeah.
And to see something like you just noted that was, not taken as a partisan issue.
Right.
Amazing.
Well, and it makes me feel a little bit less nervous about someone like Gorsuch being on the Supreme Court.
Absolutely.
Because while he's a strict interpreter of the Constitution, many people say that the Constitution strictly prohibits what is happening. So
Absolutely.
it's possible.
Yes. The Constitution is depending on how you look at it, it's both working for us and against us at the same time right now.
Yeah. It's a very strange place
Very strange place to be. Just some headlines I want to throw your way, okay? I don't want people to forget about these pipelines. If you care about the environment, if that's one of your issues, and I think it should be everyone's issue.
Oh, no, we don't do that.
Even you, Scott Pruitt.
You know that global warming is a hoax, right?
Yeah, I've heard. I'm not a scientist, though. So, as Trump reboots pipeline expansion, an unexpected delay emerges. Well, that's good, but keep your eyes open about the pipelines, guys. You're going to have a dude running the Department of Energy who didn't know what it did and wanted to do away with it.
Actually, that I'm totally on board with because that's going to be real fun.
It's really fun. He seems open-minded, at least.
I hate this department. Wait, they do what?
Oh.
No, it seems pretty good.
Yeah.
I'd kind of like to be in charge of that
They
now.
keep lead out of water? Oh, cool. What else do we do here? Rick Perry on his first day.
Yeah. He's just going to walk into the office and go, all right, let's get started. So, is there training?
You, what do you do? I make the coffee, Mr. Perry. It's organic, right?
That's important to us here, I hear.
Yeah. Rick Perry has a total sea change. Like, he does a 180, and he walks into his first day of the Department of Energy in, like, Birkenstocks. And
Are
like,
you saying that Rick Perry may go full-on hippie?
a dashiki? Yeah, I am. He's going to stop washing his hair and do that weird white people dreadlock thing.
I would love dreadlock Rick Perry. It would be my favorite. I mean, easily my favorite Rick Perry.
Mine as well.
He starts wearing Bob Marley t-shirts everywhere.
Yes. Ba-da-ba-da, ba-da-ba-da. You see that? Yeah.
How long till he is replaced if he starts doing that?
Day and a half. Steve Bannon comes down, full on Grim Reaper outfit. Thank you, SNL. Even though it did give me nightmares. Full on Grim Reaper outfit and executes him on the lawn of the White House or something.
Speaking of Steve Bannon.
Speaking of...
Have you seen the Time magazine cover?
No.
Steve Bannon is on Time magazine.
Oh, no.
On the cover.
No.
It's a terrifying picture of him.
Okay.
Because every picture of Steve Bannon is terrifying.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about him. I've tried to figure it out because, like, if you were to just look at his face, there's no feature that you're like, oh, well, that's a scary feature. It's not his eyes. It's not anything like that. Just altogether, it looks like he would drown a baby.
Yes.
So he's on the cover of Time magazine with the headline, The Great Manipulator.
Okay. Okay. That's a little better.
You know how there are all the leaks from the White House that keep coming out and no one can verify?
Correct.
There's an unverified report that Donald Trump is incredibly upset about this because he's jealous that Steve Bannon's on the Time magazine cover as the person who is actually running the country.
Yeah, well, and that's what was suggested by the news program Saturday Night Live this week as well.
Well, yeah, fake news.
Fake news.
That actually is fake news.
Yeah,
if he used fake news in relation to Saturday Night Live, correct.
Correct. That's true.
Everything else wrong.
I pulled up this cover. It is an extremely... You know what I think it is? I think it's the eyes.
Do you think it's the eyes?
I think it's the eyes. He looks like he's never slept.
It's just something about the picture that is very...
It's foreboding.
Well, and it's the pose. He's got the hand on the face. He's thinking about something, probably genocide. I don't know what he's thinking.
His eyes are fucked up.
Is that what it is?
One of the eyes goes a little... His left eye goes a little to the side too much.
Let's see here.
He's got a little funky eye thing going. Oh, and look, if you zoom in, like if you do the iPhone
Well, I'm
zoom,
not going to do that.
but you can just make out the swastika in his forehead if you do that.
I apparently have searched this enough times on my phone
It auto
that
pops
I
up.
typed ST and it went Steve Bannon Time Magazine. He does have one wonky eye.
He's got a wonky eye.
Yeah. He is one of the more terrifying individuals just to see. Every time I see him on TV, he'll just be like sitting at a table and you're like, what is he doing? What is he up to?
What is he planning?
He always looks like he's plotting.
It's going completely to plan. This is from the New York Times. Republicans try a new tack. Republicans try a new tack on climate change. Okay.
Oh.
Yep.
This should be
I'm
interesting.
going to read a little bit of this. This is Justin Gillis. Not so long ago, many Republican office holders had a simple answer when asked about the changing climate. What changing climate? But the public began to notice the heat waves and the torrential rains and the tidal flooding. All of these in bold.
You mean like the general science and whatnot?
Yeah. So then we had the I am not a scientist phase, with one lawmaker after another fending off climate questions with that formula.
I actually really liked that one. Because I'm kind of a fan of seeing people dodge questions just because they do it so artfully.
Yeah.
And that's a really good way to do it.
It is.
Well, look, I haven't studied global warming, so I don't know. But I mean, we shouldn't cut coal production because of that, right?
Hey, how about cocktails, guys? I wish they would use that same argument for abortion. Like, I mean, I don't have a uterus. How should I know?
Well, no, they know. They've been around people with uteruses.
I guess we've all been inside a uterus. Uteri. Yeah. We've all been inside one at some point or another. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Except Steve Bannon.
And I can't remember who it is that I was following on Twitter that pointed out the other day, you would never see a group of like 8 women sitting around signing a document that says what men have to do with their penises.
Very true. Very true. Absolutely true.
It's fair.
Very fair. That drew such ridicule, talking about the I'm not a scientist defense, that drew such ridicule that Republicans critical of climate science had to come up with a more nuanced answer.
Oh.
Several variations on the new approach were on display recently during confirmation hearings for some of Trump's cabinet nominees. This is a quote. Science tells us that the climate is changing and human activity in some manner impacts that change. Scott Pruitt, the Oklahoma Attorney General, who is our nom to run the EPA. I don't think he's been confirmed yet as of this recording, but he's soon. The Democrats, by the way, have not been attending these meetings. They've been boycotting them, which is about all they can do in some cases. I mean, they went through the night on Betsy DeVos, and it didn't make a damn difference, but we appreciate the effort.
And
please keep going.
I would also like to point out with Betsy DeVos, there were a couple of Republicans there, too.
There were, that were against.
They had to cast a tie-breaking vote, even though Republicans had a majority.
I have that here, too. Pence becomes first VP to break Senate tie over cabinet nomination.
Which, good for him, you know?
That was the Betsy DeVos thing. Yeah, I'm sure that felt great.
Yeah.
Because technically, and maybe you don't remember this from your civics class that you never had, the vice president is the president of the Senate. and so has
Yes.
a vote. That is correct.
Which never really comes into play.
Never.
It's so rare.
Unless everyone gets murdered.
This was,
You know?
what I don't remember if it was the first time or the first time in like 100 years or something.
Yeah.
That the VP has had to cast the tie-breaking vote on a cabinet nominee.
On anything. Yeah, we'll get to that. This is Scott Pruitt again. The human ability to measure with precision the extent of that impact is subject to continuing debate and dialogue, as well they should be. And then the writer here, Justin Gillis, says, let us ponder the craftsmanship of that second sentence. I'm almost done with this. With precision is the key phrase, of course, and it renders the statement almost axiomatically true. Do we have trouble taking the precise temperature of an entire planet and then divining for a given period exactly how much of the change in that temperature is caused by human activities? Yeah. Anybody who did not know better might come away thinking there is room to doubt whether humans are the main cause of global warming. Mr. Pruitt did not actually say that, of course. Nowadays, hardcore climate denial provokes a furious response from Democrats in Congress and mild protest even from a few Republicans. So they're trying a nuanced approach to this by saying really confusing shit.
Well, they've learned from their leader.
They've learned from their leader.
The more confusion you cause, the more you can do.
That's correct. And here's I'll give you the Pence tiebreaker thing.
Man, you do have a lot of paper.
I got a lot here, man.
That is an entire rainforest that you're shuffling through right
It's
there.
true. I am going to recycle this rainforest, just so you know. It won't turn back into trees for some time. Here we go. Vice President Pence has done something that his predecessor Joe Biden did not do even once in his 8 years in the same office. He cast a tie-breaking vote in the U.S. Senate. Now that is significant because the Obama administration was challenged, as you know, at every damn turn through the course of his presidency once the Republicans controlled Congress. The occasion is Tuesday's confirmation of Betsy DeVos as President Trump's Secretary of Education. I don't know if they were supposed to capitalize Secretary of Education, but they didn't. Maybe that's a subtle jab.
What is this from?
This is from NPR.
NPR. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, they would capitalize
They
it
would
if
know.
they were supposed to.
Yeah. Again, being very subtle, NPR. Thank you. The DeVos nomination has so far proven the most contentious of all of Trump's controversial kind of picks. Now, yes.
I disagree with that.
I don't think she should be the most controversial.
I guess that's true. The EPA,
Yeah.
the EPA douche should definitely be the most.
That is exactly my art. Now, she is, I would say, almost equally as controversial because she doesn't know what's going on. But he is diametrically
it's worse.
opposed. Yeah.
She doesn't know what's going on. That's bad.
Right.
But like we were making fun of Rick Perry
Yeah.
for thinking that department, the Department of Energy,
Right.
was stupid and it should be
Right.
taken out. The guy
Scott
who's
Pruitt.
in charge of the EPA is actively
Yes.
against the EPA.
He is currently suing them, I believe. Like right now is suing
I mean,
them.
that's all he does.
Yeah.
He constantly is suing the EPA. It's
Yeah, I'm with you. I feel like he should be the most
Yeah.
contentious cabinet pick. Absolutely.
Like if anything, the person who actively is against the position that he has been nominated for.
Correct. Actively. Even Rex Tillerson isn't so bad because at least that guy's been on a plane.
Right.
Like
I mean, it makes every other pick kind of go,
yeah.
I mean, it's not so bad.
I couldn't
Rick
agree.
Perry,
Eh.
it could be worse.
I mean, he's
got
kind of-
glasses now. He looks smart.
Oh. And those Birkenstocks are charming. 2 Republican senators, Susan Collins of Maine and Lisa Murkowski of Alaska, joined all 46 Democrats and both independents in opposing DeVos. Go Susan Collins and Lisa Murkowski.
Of Alaska. Yeah. That's a very Republican state.
I know. The other 50 Republicans, however, stood by the nominee. That means the vote ended in a tie. Ties in the Senate do not happen often, but when one does, the Constitution says it may be broken by a vote cast by the vice president. Tuesday's vote, is the 245th instance of this power being used in the history of our country, but it is the first time in history that a vice president's tie-breaking power serves to confirm a nominee to the cabinet.
First time ever.
First time ever.
So if you're Betsy DeVos,
yeah,
you feel real good right now.
I guess. Walking into her new digs.
Yeah, everyone is on. It has her back right now.
Everyone's got her back.
Everyone.
Yeah. I don't know where they meet for the Department of Education. I assume it's like a bouncy house.
Yeah, when she's
somewhere.
done with it, it's going to be just, a back alley somewhere. It'll just be her meeting.
They used to serve gin in England through tubes in walls, and you would just pass a guy a farthing or whatever, and he would dose your gin through a tube. That's where Betsy DeVos is going to leave the Department of Education.
Why did they do that?
I think just for efficiency. I don't know. The British.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's how you want your gin.
As all this is happening here, the waves of nationalism are continuing in Europe.
Yeah.
What is the French lady's name? Help me. Le Pen.
I was going to guess Pierre.
She's a far right, Trump-esque candidate.
Well, I mean, it's everywhere right now.
She's gaining ground. Yeah. Britain, obviously.
And there's a push in Canada.
There is, yeah.
And I kind of get it.
The Canada one?
No, I mean in general.
Oh, all of it?
I get the push.
Okay.
I'm not for the push.
Okay.
I don't agree with it.
You can understand the push.
But I understand it.
Okay.
Because right now in the world is, in my lifetime at least, the most anyone has been afraid of a group of people just coming into their country and wreaking havoc.
True. That's true.
And these far-right people have latched onto it.
Yeah.
That's it. I mean, that's really all there is to it. If you listen to Donald Trump specifically, he, every Republican I have known before this, has been very rah, USA, we're so good. I mean, that's every one of them.
Yeah.
Mitt Romney talked about how great the country was. John McCain, George W. Bush.
Sure.
On down the line. It's the opposite with Trump. And it's the opposite everywhere. I mean, it was the same with Brexit. They went, status quo. That everyone's just making that noise into a microphone over and over. So I get it.
Yeah.
I understand where it's coming from.
Yeah.
But it's such a weird, short-sighted...
It is.
Ideal. I know short-sighted's my phrase of
That's
the
fine.
week.
That's fine.
But everyone is focused on the right now.
Yeah. Do you feel... two things. Do you feel like, number one, and I think this is how I feel, a good chunk of that fear is probably unfounded?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's all... I mean... You look at, and it came out this week, specifically, with the Bowling Green massacre, and
such a horrible thing.
Yeah, I mean, rest in peace,
they will
the
be
many
missed.
Victims in Bowling Green, and Sean Spicer talking about Atlanta, and all the terrorist attacks everywhere.
Yes.
They're just catering on fear that may or may not need to exist in any way whatsoever.
Exactly.
The Bowling Green, the suspects in that story, for those who don't know, Kellyanne Conway, spokesperson, started on multiple TV shows. I think there were 3.
There were.
Referring to the Bowling Green massacre in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Which... Not a thing.
Did not happen. Never.
So then she tried to cover
happened.
her tracks, saying that she was referring to 2 suspects who were Iraqi, I believe, who
Yeah.
had moved to Bowling Green and were shipping weapons back
Right.
for terrorist attacks, which is fine. Whatever. People make mistakes. People don't usually make the same mistake 3 times, but that's okay. Whatever. We'll let you have that one. But they're presenting it as a reason to be afraid.
Right.
We arrested them.
We did.
That means the system
Is
worked.
working. Yeah. It's working. It's working.
They left that part out of their nonsense story.
Right.
We caught the guys. They're in jail now.
Right. They also, everyone continually leaves out that under the Obama administration, it became a lot harder to get into this country.
Yeah.
There is already pretty extreme vetting happening to these
Well,
people.
And you see it everywhere. People aren't opposed to harsher vetting
Yes.
from these countries.
Doesn't seem like.
No one cares.
Mm-hmm.
It's the tactic of everyone from that country probably is a terrorist.
Right.
That it's presented in a fear-based tactic.
Yes.
I mean, it's a very totalitarian tactic.
Absolutely.
You're afraid of this. I'm here to save you from it.
Right. And we're making shit up, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't have to be true.
Right.
As long as you can get the people to believe
Yes.
that he is there to save them. And this week is when the shoe dropped a lot on that.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, I feel like in my lifetime, and tell me if this is an overgeneralization, I feel like in my lifetime, every Republican candidate I can remember, certainly George Bush, among others, have run fear-based campaigns.
They have, but not to this extent.
Not to this extent, no.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, if you watch, for instance, the Republican National Convention this year.
Yes.
Previous Republican National Conventions were, we are the greatest country in the world. We have to protect this.
Right.
This one was, look, America's going to be destroyed.
Yes. Yes.
We're doomed. Everyone
Yeah.
is screwed so bad.
Right. Right.
You better elect me president. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen if we don't. You know, Benghazi everywhere. Benghazi everywhere.
Benghazi on every corner.
Hillary Clinton's just going to leak all your emails. Everyone's email.
Yeah. I mean, that's exactly it.
And I hate slippery slope arguments. But, I mean, you could make a valid slippery slope argument here. George W. Bush, his second term specifically,
Yes.
won because of 9/11 based fears.
Absolutely.
McCain and Romney did not win.
Mm-hmm.
So what do? Go down a little bit further, scare everyone a lot more.
Right. Right. Even, and this just occurred to me, but even the way that Trump, in his campaign speeches, described, and his acceptance, and his inauguration
Every speech.
described the condition of African Americans.
Yeah.
As a hellscape.
Well, and
everywhere around. But I'm realizing right now that language wasn't really even used to appeal to African Americans. That language was used to appeal to white voters who imagine that's how things are already. Well, and you know what I mean?
And this week, he specifically, in front of, I believe it was the meeting of the sheriffs, was talking about how the murder rate was the highest it's been in 40 plus years, however many it was, which is just a lie.
It's just a lie. It's not true at all. Not true at all.
It's the highest it's been in 2 years.
Yeah. Yeah. And by the way,
it went up this year.
Yeah. And it's been on a steady downward trend.
Yeah.
Since, I don't know, the 70s. Yeah.
The 80s were really bad. The 90s were pretty bad.
Yeah.
2000s, not so bad.
We're figuring stuff out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that specifically was only said to scare people.
Only scared. Yeah, absolutely. That's the only reason. On the Bowling Green thing, because I have it. Because they have it, right?
Yeah!
This is from the Washington Post. Kellyanne Conway's Bowling Green massacre wasn't a slip of the tongue. She has said it before. Kellyanne Conway thinks she took too much flack for citing a non-existent Bowling Green massacre.
She misspoke multiple times, like we all do.
Right. To justify President Trump's travel ban. She said she simply meant to say Bowling Green terrorists and later said, I misspoke one word. Except now she doesn't appear to have misspoken at all. She seems to have believed that the Bowling Green massacre was a real thing. How do we know? She cited the same non-existent attack in separate interviews with two other outlets, Cosmopolitan Magazine and TMZ. So, Cosmopolitan, TMZ, and
by the way,
wherever the third one
nothing says reputable like being interviewed by TMZ.
Or Cosmopolitan. I wonder if they asked her about multiple orgasms.
Yeah. So, what do you think the best way to please a man is?
Be his counselor.
Oh, Kellyanne. So, I don't know if you saw this week.
Okay.
Kellyanne Conway was on Jake Tapper's show.
Jake Tapper has been taking a beating.
Jake Tapper destroyed Kellyanne Conway.
I didn't see it, no.
Oh,
it's worth looking up, though.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it, go look it up. Basically, I'm thinking that Kellyanne Conway, and I mean, maybe I'm reading too much into it, is losing her will to live. She was on Jake Tapper's show,
yeah,
and is just saying there going, no, I think CNN is legitimate news. It's not fake news. And just backtracking everything she said, and he's just constantly nailing her with, yeah, but why would the president say that? Yeah, but the president lied. Why would he say that? And you can just see like the life force draining out of her eyes as she sits there.
Ugh.
So it made me start thinking, how miserable of a job. Because keep in mind, Kellyanne Conway did not start out with Donald Trump.
Right.
She was Ted Cruz's person.
Oh.
And Ted Cruz, started losing. She jumped ship, went to the winning ship.
Gotcha. She's
the advisor, and by that I mean glorified mouthpiece for Donald Trump. Yeah. How miserable of a job is that? Oh, I'm starting to gain a weird amount of empathy for Kellyanne Conway.
Good for you.
I watch her on things. I'm like, that's got to be the worst. You don't believe any of the stuff you're saying right now.
Right. I mean, she must be intelligent to do what she's doing, or she wouldn't be able to pirouette.
She's not. She can spin like nobody.
Yeah.
Like nobody else. So she's not an idiot. And that means she knows what she's saying every time is a lie.
Every time.
Which means that she's a bad person.
Yeah.
Because she's still lying.
She's choosing.
But
yeah. Right.
Like that's got to be the worst job.
Psychologically.
And then today she made offhanded comments about Ivanka Trump's clothing line.
I heard about that. The Nordstrom thing?
Yeah, because Nordstrom's dropped her, and she got asked a question about it, and just said, everyone should go buy it, which you would think is an innocent comment.
Yeah.
Maybe, if you're not thinking, but according to the Constitution, it's kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
So Sean Spicer had to talk about how she had been, quote, counseled on it during his press conference today. So someone got yelled at. Like, Kellyanne Conway has a bad job.
It's a bad job.
Can you imagine doing that job?
No, I'd be dead.
Like, every day, she goes out there, a lunatic, an orange lunatic, has told her a specific thing she has to say in this interview. And she has to go on this interview and say it for 20 plus minutes every time.
And then do it again.
And then do it, be done on Fox News, which is the softball.
Yep.
And then go to MSNBC. That's no good.
And then do it at CNN.
Yeah, not good. That's not a win for anybody. So if you hear that Kellyanne Conway has been institutionalized or slipped into depression, it makes sense. I understand it.
Yeah.
if you feel trapped, Kellyanne, contact us. We can find you a safe place.
Yeah, it's here. It's right here
In the basement.
Yeah, you're not going to get a microphone. Sorry, you're just too volatile.
You've overused
You're
microphones.
too powerful. Jake Tapper, by the way, is an anchor.
Yeah.
on
CNN.
CNN.
Fake news.
And he was attacked by the right this week. And he sort of preempted a lot of things. Did you see this?
No.
On Twitter, he started a hashtag Jake Tapper dirt file, assuming that people are going to gather material against him.
Yeah.
And he put like stuff in there about like love this album, and it's like Rick Astley or something like that, you know, like skipped first day of 8th grade in whatever year to go see the Return of the Jedi, you know. Shit like that.
Wow.
Pretty amazing, man. Pretty amazing.
So I know this isn't related to the president,
Okay.
but I ran across this week. And I don't know if I've told you how I feel about Mississippi.
We've discussed it.
It's awful. It's a garbage place. Headline, and this is from NBC News.
Okay.
Mississippi advances bill to bring back firing squad executions.
Oh, what?
The Republicans in the Mississippi House have passed on a bill that would add firing squads, electrocution, and gas chamber as execution methods for their death penalty.
What the fuck? They got the variety pack?
Right. Now, as bad as Mississippi is, I don't know if I've told you how I feel about Oklahoma.
Oh, for sure.
Okay, Oklahoma is way worse than Mississippi. It turns out, according to this, Oklahoma actually has a firing squad option as their death penalty currently.
Oh my God.
Oklahoma and Utah. There are 2 states.
You can elect to die by firing squad?
I don't know if you choose it or if they go, nah, we're not going to mess with the drugs. You don't deserve a needle. But there are 2 states
Oh my God.
where firing squad can happen. And 8 states with electrocution.
Jesus.
So,
Man. The firing squad thing, you have to break it down a little bit to kind of realize how dark it is.
yeah.
What do they have, like 5 people, something like that, all with guns standing there, pointing at you? Well, 4 out of 5, or whatever the number is, have blanks.
Yeah.
One person has a live round. No one knows who has the live round, so they don't have to live with that the rest of their
Right.
life. Or they kind of do.
Well, I mean, I think it would be the opposite. I think it means 5 people are living with that because
Yeah.
no one's
No
going
one
to
knows.
go, no, I definitely had the blank.
Exactly.
All 5 people are going to be going,
I killed
I'm
him.
pretty sure I shot that guy.
And it's not, you don't die from a gunshot wound like you do in the movies. It's slow.
yeah.
You bleed out. It's bad.
I just can't believe it is 2017.
Yeah, dude. What the hell?
And not only are there 2 states with firing squads, we're adding to it. There's going to be more.
By the way, if you serve on a firing squad in some state, hit us up.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? I would Skype them in.
Yeah, we could Skype them in.
Because I would love to hear about this.
I would too. I want to know how they get through the day.
I promise I won't judge you
Yeah.
out loud.
Right.
Silently, I judge everybody at all times.
I probably won't say a lot.
So,
I don't see me saying a lot. On the Vladimir Putin front this week.
Poutine.
Yeah, hashtag Vladimir Putin. GOP Senate. This is the Washington Post. GOP senators blanch at Trump's latest defense of Putin. A trio of Republican senators reacted sharply Sunday to President Trump's latest apparent defense of Russian President Vladimir Putin, rejecting Trump's suggestion in an interview that America cannot claim moral superiority to Putin's Russia. Trump's remarks came from an interview with Bill O'Reilly that was previewed Saturday and is set to be fully broadcast on Sunday. It has, by this point, the evening before the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
In the clip, Trump repeated his past praise for Putin, saying, "It's better to get along with Russia than not," which prompted Bill O'Reilly to press him, "But he's a killer, though. Putin's a killer." Trump responded, "There are a lot of killers. We've got a lot of killers. What do you think? Our country's so innocent?" He's right, but yeah, it's a bit odd for the president to point out. Congressional Republicans have broken with Trump over dozens of controversial statements he has made during his campaign, his transition, and now his presidency. But no issue appears to have flummoxed, nice word, lawmakers as much as his constant defense of Putin. Trump's coziness is at odds with years of GOP foreign orthodoxy calling for a more aggressive stance towards Russia.
What is happening? That in the last 2 weeks,
yeah,
the voices of reason I've heard,
yes,
include Lindsey Graham, John McCain, Bill O'Reilly, Glenn Beck,
Mitch McConnell,
the Supreme Court Justice nominee Gorsuch.
Yeah. This is what Mitch McConnell said. "I don't believe there's any equivalency between the way that the Russians conduct themselves and the way the United States does," he said, adding, "I'm not going to critique the president's every utterance, but I should." No, that's not in there. But I do think
it's implied.
But I do think America is exceptional. America is different. We don't operate in any way the Russians do. I think there's a clear distinction here that all Americans understand. And no, I would not have characterized it that way.
Well, it's just a very weird situation at this point.
Weird. It's very weird.
I don't know if you saw all the stuff back and forth with John McCain today.
Not all the back and forth.
So, John McCain spoke out earlier, I think it was yesterday, and by the time you're listening to this, a few days ago, about the Yemen attack, saying that it was a failure, and etc., etc., etc. John McCain obviously knows what he's talking about. He was a prisoner of war.
Yes.
He's very, very versed in military. Donald Trump this morning went on a tweeting rampage, because that's how every reasonable president expresses themselves. Saying, Senator McCain should not be talking about the success or failure of a mission to the media. Only emboldens the enemy. He's been losing so long he doesn't know how to win anymore.
Oh my God.
Just look at the mess our country is in. Bogged down in conflict all over the place. Our hero Ryan died on a winning mission, according to General Mattis. By the way, according to McCain, General Mattis did not say it was a winning mission. Not a failure. Time for the U.S. to get smart and start winning again.
Oh my God.
So I started a fun game. Speaking of Trump's tweets,
yeah.
Maybe you want to play it.
I'd love to play it.
So I don't know if you've looked at Donald Trump's Twitter, but he signs off on a lot of tweets with one word.
Yeah,
just like one word sentences.
Yeah,
to punctuate every thought.
And an exclamation point. Right.
So I started playing this with Tanae this week, where I would send her a tweet, and she had to guess the one word at the end of it.
Okay. This is a good game.
Some of them are 2 words, but for the most part, it's 1 word. We'll start with this one. This one is from a day ago.
Okay.
My daughter Ivanka has been treated so unfairly by Nordstrom. She is a great person, always pushing me to do the right thing. And there is one word at the end of this with an exclamation point.
Betrayal.
Terrible!
Terrible.
It's just bizarre how every third tweet has something that punctuates it like that. Like this one, okay, this one is 2 words.
Okay.
I'll give you this one.
All right.
13 hours ago.
Okay.
Chris Cuomo, in his interview with Senator Blumenthal, never asked him about his long-term lie about his brave, quote, service in Vietnam. 2 words.
Very bad.
Fake news!
Oh.
That one, and I said it much louder because it's all caps with an exclamation point. So,
Do you think when he's tweeting, he's watching the characters run down, he's like, fuck, how many exclamation points can I get in here?
well, what I think is happening is the last sentence. He's like, I have so much more to express. Bad!
Trump smash.
I don't know if you've paid attention to how long it takes him to tweet, but he will string things along. Like the McCain tweet I just read was 3 tweets.
Oh, okay.
The second and third one, there was a 20-minute gap in between the 2.
Wow.
Which I'm assuming, I mean, I know he's old, so maybe he can't type very well on his phone.
Small hands.
There's also the fact that I know for a fact he's only doing this when he's taking a dump. So my theory is there's like the 20-minute gap, and that's when he's really working on it. Like he's pushing hard for like 15 of those minutes, and then he types out his tweet for 5 minutes and sends it.
After he's had some success.
Yeah, there's no other explanation for a 20-minute gap. He's just got to get that out.
You want to rapid fire me?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, let's rapid fire this.
So, this is the stuff that we couldn't fit into the show
because there's so much stuff.
It's just nonsense how much there is.
Oh, by the way, good job, Elizabeth Warren, this week. Thanks. That just was sticking in my mind.
Yeah, I don't want to get into this too much, but I'm a little worried about Elizabeth Warren.
What are you worried?
I feel like Elizabeth Warren is positioning herself to run for president.
Yes.
And Elizabeth Warren, to most people, is a less likable Hillary Clinton.
That's true.
I don't want that.
Yeah, we need to win.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's the thing. I'd love for her to run.
Literally anyone besides Elizabeth Warren, because she's not going to win.
Not Dianne Feinstein. People hate Dianne Feinstein.
Okay, not Dianne Feinstein.
Yeah.
Those two are out.
Okay.
The other person, by the way, I've noticed who is on everything, New Jersey Senator Cory Booker.
Cory Booker, dude.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Dude is definitely planning on running for something.
It's going to be a very interesting Democratic primary.
Maybe there will be 20 candidates this time.
Maybe there will
be. For the
be.
Democrats.
Yeah.
All right. Rapid fire.
Rapid fire.
This happened this week.
Okay.
This week, Under Armour CEO Kevin Plank described Donald Trump as a real asset. NBA superstar and Under Armour spokesman Steph Curry said, I agree with that description, minus the et. While Curry is one of the greatest, if not the greatest players in the NBA today, he has offended the lunatic in chief, so he must pay. What would Trump tweet at Steph Curry? I guess.
Go for it.
Some people blow a 3-1 lead against Cleveland, then insult me. Biggest win ever, biggest inauguration, best president in history. So much hate, sad. That's my guess.
That's a good guess. That's a good guess.
Reportedly, Trump is upset that Melissa McCarthy portrayed press secretary Sean Spicer on SNL, not because she acted like a raving lunatic who munched gum in fistfuls, but because having a woman portray Spicer makes his people look weak. Now, using that logic, who is the worst person you could come up with to play Donald Trump on SNL?
Oh shit. Shit, Nathan. Judy Garland.
Okay. My choice was Wanda Sykes.
Okay.
Female,
Yeah.
black,
Yeah.
lesbian.
Oh yeah.
So that's
Triple threat.
like if we could find a female, black, lesbian, Muslim,
even better.
that would be the worst case scenario
Yeah.
for him.
Yeah.
But Wanda Sykes plus Wanda Sykes is Donald Trump. I'd laugh at that.
Oh, it'd be
that
great.
would be good.
She'd be great.
This week, Senators Bernie Sanders and Ted Cruz debated healthcare on CNN. While the two are nothing alike, they seem to agree on issues at least a couple of times in the hour. It was weird. I don't know if you saw any of it.
No, I didn't see any of it.
But they talked about how they both want to import medicine from foreign countries
Okay.
to cut down prescription costs and things like that.
Yeah.
1 to 10, how great would a buddy cop show be with the two of them?
10.
Absolutely. I watch every episode of that 5 times. I mean, I almost want to watch the debate again just to watch Bernie Sanders talk with his hands. I love it.
Cruz burn. 2017.
All right, and last one here. Sean Spicer spoke this week about the terror attack in Atlanta. The issue is there has been no terror attack in Atlanta since Eric Robert Rudolph, not a Muslim, brought a bomb to the 1996 Olympics.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago.
A long time ago. Remember that, though.
Hold on. My phone logs off really quickly.
You got a new phone.
I know. So, he now says he meant the Orlando massacre. Sean Spicer said Atlanta, he meant Orlando.
Okay, so Pulse nightclub. Okay.
To be safe from now on, should Spicer say plus or minus 500 miles every time he refers to a specific location?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be the safest choice, right?
Yeah. So tomorrow he's going to get on the air and be like, oh, guys, that's so horrible, that massacre in Disneyland. And they're going to be like, Disney World?
Plus or minus
Plus
a
or
country?
minus? Yeah. So someone died in Uganda? What?
Distance is hard!
I just really hope that he ends up with an inflatable podium just like Melissa McCarthy had.
I kind of like to think that the Atlanta thing, his geography teacher in high school was watching it and just went, oh.
Jonathan, terrible job.
D minus.
I wish we could just fail the whole administration right now.
Yeah.
I wish we could just stamp them.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we should start grading them. Maybe that would motivate Trump if we started assigning him grades.
By the minute.
Yeah. C minus. You tweeted way too many times for that to be a B.
Not winning.
I was commenting on this earlier today. The weirdest thing in the world is I was watching CNN today when they were talking about the decision on the ban.
Yeah.
And the thing Wolf Blitzer said out loud, and this is the weirdest thing, is, and we have a tweet response from the president. That's our country.
That's our country. To be fair, was that Wolf Blitzer or one of his clones?
It was Wolf Blitzer.
Okay.
I think.
Did you have the whole scenario play out where it's like, I'm the real Wolf Blitzer? No, I'm the real Wolf Blitzer.
In my head, I always have that play out.
Yeah.
Wolf Blitzer and his stupid beard. He has for some reason I hate Wolf Blitzer's beard. I don't know what it is about him.
It's like it's so symmetrical.
Maybe that's it.
Yeah.
I just don't like Wolf Blitzer in general.
F.
Failed.
Sushi Jack Knife.
Sushi Jack Knife.
Good night, everybody.